Welcome to These Streets, the show that aims to showcase young Irish buskers in all their glory. On this week's show, we have four very different but equally talented acts in the form of four-piece band Surface to Air, BIM student Joe Hearns and singer-songwriter Linda Brooks. So without further ado, kicking off the show is four-piece band Surface to Air. It's hard to believe that these boys are only 15 and 16-year-old fourth-year students. The pressure's on. Let's check them out.
I just really enjoy playing music in general, but it's nice to play music kind of to people, I suppose, even if they just wander on by. It's grand, like I just enjoy it, it's very crafty. Well, it's nice.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't do it for the rest of my life.
No, but if it it's kind of like the worst that can happen is you have a nice hobby that you can do with your mates and you get to be kind of creative. But,
Yeah,
and it's
make a
just,
few bob.
yeah, something you can do as a hobby. But if it takes off, then that's better. So we had a day when we started off. We just said like do a Wednesday, and then everyone kind of made around that. But last year, we were doing exams and stuff. It's hard to get everyone around the same time, but we managed to do it. And give loads of time now, so it's great.
Music, not like it's music on a summer camp, I suppose. That's where I used to play guitar in school, and I got my interest back there, and I started getting guitar lessons. And then just I don't get them anymore. You still do off Chris.
Yeah, I played the piano for a while.
Yeah.
And then I started getting the music that wouldn't really have piano in it, and then I got a guitar for Christmas, and then I started writing songs and stuff. And I knew Luke because Luke played the drums. Yeah, and Luke, and then Chris we knew was going out with Leon, and that's how we got in contact with Leon. So he plays the pitch bass.
We don't have set. A lot of songs don't make any sense. A lot of our
They
songs.
sound like they mean something.
They sound like
really
they're deep.
don't, yeah.
They really don't. Some of them we're proud of some of our songs that we wrote, and some of them are just.
Toss to the side.
I don't really like it that much.
Look at this lamppost breathing at me. And this is the shit they shed LSD. Pretty in red and in white and in blue. Really makes me wanna set fire to you. Oh, oh. Oh, who cares? Oh, oh. Oh, who cares? You fucking suck, said the voice in my head. I'm up to my eyeballs, I wish I was dead. Leeches are fucking and sucking that bird. I meant to ask when is it my turn? Oh, oh. Oh, who cares? Oh, oh. Oh, who cares?
Hello, guys. Surface to air, everybody. It's a tight old squeeze in here. Oh. Getting real closey. So we have Leon, Odin, Chris, and Luke.
Yeah.
And in what order?
Leon's the one on our lap.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yep.
Odin.
Odin, Leon,
Chris.
Luke. Okay, so that was your own song,
Yep.
I do believe. It was a mixture of Who Cares and The Result, if I'm right. So tell me a bit about the process in writing these songs.
Well,
you wrote the latter half.
Yeah.
I wrote the
Oh, in
first
the
half.
first half, and we just put them together, see what happens. So I think it turned out okay. And usually people have like the lyrics or a riff, and then some other ones might have other ones, but they don't have either music or lyrics to them. We can just put them together, and everyone kind of
Mash 'em
puts in a
together.
part. Yeah, and it fits together. So
Very good, very good. And is music something that you hope to pursue in the future?
Definitely, if not academically, definitely just to play as a hobby.
Yeah.
It'd be great, of course, to actually like play in a band for a living, but it's unlikely, sadly. So I suppose I'd definitely have to go into like music production or that sort of field.
Yeah.
Definitely something like
That'd
that.
be nice too.
And how did you guys meet? I believe you're not actually in the same school. Can't believe only fourth year. You're only in fourth year. It puts us all to such shame. I feel like such a failure in life. But how did you guys meet?
Me and Chris are cousins,
yeah, and
so
then
I've known him forever.
and I knew Luke for a while. I knew he played drums. So
And Leon, we met Leon 4 years ago when we started the band because his girlfriend at the time was in my music class.
Yay.
Romance isn't dead, I tell you.
well, that one
That's how we
is.
find it.
Yeah, it's pretty
Well,
damn
guys, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best in the world. I think everybody can believe that you've got such bright futures when you see that at only like 15 and 16.
you very much.
Crazy.
Cheers.
So the next act that caught our eye was BIM student Joe. Earlier on today, we saw Joe bashing out Song 2 by Blur, so let's check it out.
I got my
My
head
name's Joe, and I've playing guitar since I was like 12, singing since I was about 8 on stage. Anyway. I study in BIM in DIT, so I definitely see music as a career choice. In BIM, like, there's no like real superiority or anything. Like, everyone kind of helps each other out, which is good. But there's healthy competition, which is also a good thing. My influences, I don't really have any specific influences. Like, I kind of try and listen to everything and take something from everything. Like, I've no specific favorite genre or anything. And then again, from just kind of what happens around me, like, I suppose I love band. Like, I'm very much a band man. I love my favorite band are Foals, and I like Sabian and bands like that are just kind of mad and stuff.
Hell yeah, this feels unreal. You catch my eye, think you wanna make me real. What do you think before you move? Me and the boys are caught up in a groove. Discretion is the name of the game, but not for us, 'cause we ain't got no shame. Our boy over there, he just caught a dose, while another one comes running back. We'll stop talking about the blue ghost. But if you take a look around and tell me, what do you see? All these red dots staring back at me, yeah. How much would it cost and would you do it for free? With all these red dots staring back at me, they sing sha la 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 la, yeah. Sha la la la, oh 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 oh. Sha la 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 la, yeah. Sha la la la, oh 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 oh. He's got 7 stitches, left speechless, his jaws hanging off him like the 3 screws missing, and we ain't got no way home. 'Cause some bitch just ran off with my phone. oh. Sha la 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 la, yeah. Sha la la la, oh 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 oh. Now take a look around and tell me, what do you see? All these rectors staring back at me. Yeah. How much would it cost and would you do it for free? With all these rectors staring back at me, they sing sha la 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 la, yeah. Sha la la la, oh 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 oh. Sha la 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 la, yeah. Sha la la la, oh 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 oh.
Excellent, Joe Hearns, everybody. That was so good. We were all the crew were in here like jamming along. Like I feel like that. I know that now. Sha-la-la-la. So Joe, you're a BIM student yourself, am I right?
That's correct. That's correct. In second year.
Very good, very good. And how'd you find that?
Yeah, it's good. It's great being able to go in and study music, I guess,
Yeah.
you know.
Do what you love to do. Do you hope for a career in music or songwriting, or what's your kind of?
Yeah, I certainly kind of want to go down that path. It'd be deadly if I could combine the two, but certainly being up on stage, I've always kind of been there since I was a young lad, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely what I want to do.
And am I right in saying that was the first time you performed that song out of your bedroom?
Yeah, it's kind of the first time it's left my house.
That is so mad. It was so good. We all enjoyed it so much. And is songwriting is something that you're passionate about? Is it something that you enjoy doing? Or?
Yeah, well, it kind of only is really happening the last year since I've started going to college and stuff.
Yeah.
I write with like a band in mind, so I prefer not to be playing guitar. I prefer like just concentrating on one thing. I'm male, I can't really multitask. So yeah, definitely something that I want to really focus on in the near future and get, you know, gigging my own stuff with a band.
Very good. And is there any sort of particular act or band that you'd like to base yourself on, or?
I don't know about base myself. I mean, I'm very much listen to all different types of music, but my favourite band would probably be Foles. But I guess I just kind of want to write stuff and see if it works and take it from there.
Well, we're here at these streets thinking that we discovered you, but I hear that you played the fecking O2 last year, the biggest venue in Ireland.
Yeah, that was mad. My old theatre school asked me to come back and sing a song with them. It was Pompeii by Bastille. Wouldn't be my choice, but and yeah, we got to sing that in the O2 at a Christmas show called The Snowman.
Unbelievable. Well, fair play, Joe.
Thank you very much.
So, Joe 100% has a very bright career ahead of him. We all believe it. And last but most certainly not least is singer-songwriter Linda Brooks. So Linda takes her guitar and her dreadlocks to the streets of Dublin. Let's go check it out.
Hi, I'm Linda Brooks. I'm 20 years of age and I live in Band here in Dublin. I never really came from a musical family. I swear, like from listening to like Disney films alone, I'd just like be hearing sounds and just be impressionable to everything around me. It took me years for my mother to allow me to get guitar lessons, and once I just picked up the guitar, I kind of just never put it down. It was just like constantly covering songs, and eventually, as years goes along, started writing my own. For my own songs, I suppose just listening to like my own favourite like singer-songwriters, kind of in the folk genre, the likes of Bonnie DeFranco and Anais Mitchell, kind of a lot of like American oriented songwriters, and also just like the Irish music scene in itself. I kind of see the the talents that like artists that came from the same background as I would, just like playing places like Sweeney's and Mercantile and wherever else, and just being so blown away by like what these guys can do that I feel like, well, what stops me from doing that too? Some people will be very generous with money, but I feel like that shouldn't really define what like makes the busking experience so good. Like I will just get some really supportive people. Like one guy, he was watching me play a John Mayer song once, and he was standing there with his ice cream, and he goes to me after being, "You're the only busker in the past 10 years I've stopped and listened to on Grafton Street," and that just really stood. That was actually one of the biggest compliments I've ever gotten.
Catching me by surprise, like a car speeding past a flooded curb, soaking me to the skin, soaking me to the core. I have been drenched in words like yours before. It's hard to dry off. I've been submerged so deep. Commitments to you. I've tried so hard to keep. I've tried so hard to keep. Do we think too much, or maybe not enough? Our thoughts are submerged in events repeating themselves. Thought you were different, yet me convinced that things are changing, and I'm sitting on the fence, wondering where it went wrong and why it's taken so long. Do we think too much, or maybe not enough? Our thoughts are submerged in events repeating themselves. And tell me something I don't know, why I shouldn't let you go. Our thoughts are submerged in events repeating themselves. In events repeating themselves. We all have stories to tell.
Linda Brooks, everybody.
The mic was falling there, so I just had to step back and make two.
Well, that was so good. Really
Thanks so
enjoyed that.
much. Cheers.
That was your own song, was it?
That was a song called Submerged that I've been working on and off with the past year and a bit. I don't really like sit down and just write a song in one sitting. I keep coming back to it and adding stuff and taking away stuff, and yeah.
And you're an English student in IDAT, is it?
IADT,
IADT.
yes.
So do you think that helps with your writing, or is it totally different kind of vibes?
Writing there would be very like academic.
Yeah.
It's not really kind of like a creative writing course or anything like that. But I don't know. like with I feel like it's IDT's in an environment where there's so many creative students anyway, where like being there, if not specifically for my course, just with creative people, and I know like a lot of spoken word artists and other musicians and stuff. So yeah, I suppose like it would help.
That's really cool. And are you into busking yourselves? We caught you busking out on the streets, but is it something?
Yeah, no. Again, busking is something I have been doing on and off since I was about 14 years old.
Oh wow!
Yeah. People come up to me and be like, "Oh yeah, you're like 20 years old." Like I'm 20 now. So when I was 14, then I was like, "No, I'm still in school. And this is how I make money." So
Yeah.
can't get a part-time job. So like busking, recession times.
Recession times. And do you busk often now, or is it kind of something that you've more?
I've stepped back from it lately. The busking community is like kind of competitive when it comes to who can be the loudest, and you know, it's like, oh, I've got my big pieces of equipment. So yeah, it's I've sidestepped from it, but I haven't abandoned it. You know,
Yeah.
I can see myself still getting into it again once I can afford maybe a better amp.
Better. And would singing competitions or anything like that be something that you'd get into, or do you prefer to kind of just keep it low key?
Well, I would have like performed at a lot of open mic nights in Dublin, which like there is a lot of them, like in the International they have the Monday Echo, or just the Velo Cusick and the Black Sheep on Capel Street, and there's just been other open mics that have just like popped up around the city that like they're great for showcasing Irish artists. So I'll go to these, and I'll actually just have an outlet to perform the stuff that I'd just be like writing in my room and wouldn't really get a chance anywhere else to perform. So
Very good. And would you ever consider writing for someone else? That song Submerged was brilliant, and would you like? Is it just for performance for yourself, or do you think you'd write for other artists?
oh, I couldn't write something for someone else to perform. I think that would just be too weird. I feel like with what I write, it is all very personal stuff, and if I'm writing an instrumental, it tends to be kind of like an unfinished piece that of like one of these days
Yeah.
I'll add lyrics to it. But
Well,
I feel like it's all for me. So.
Well, if they're all like that last song, you've got a very bright future ahead, I'm sure.
Thanks so much.
That was such a great way to end the show. I can't believe it's already over. But our three acts today, Surface to Air, Joe and Linda, 100% have very bright futures. So until next week, keep on jamming.